Don't really need to say anything else. Oh man. We did it. It's over. Rebirth is over, I feel. I decree at this moment in time, August 20th, 2021, the end of the rebirth period of wrestling. We got what we needed out of this. Wrestling is revitalized into a much more contemporary product. Wrestling is getting hotter and hotter than ever. Passions are being reignited. The territory days of crossover events is reignited. Everything WWE broke and was breaking is now in repair. But the biggest thing that had to be repaired was this guy and his love for professional wrestling. There's something special about this. It's not just his return, it's how they did it. So someone believes that, so I talked to some people, they think that this might have actually been intentional. That AEW let out this report that AEW let out this report like Ring of Honor did back in 2005 when he was going to WWE in order to draw hype, draw the interest, draw everything you need to get this crowd. And they announced the big announcement when Fightful reported this afterwards that it looked like CM Punk was trained for an in-ring return and was looking like, well, he's going to be guaranteed to return. Let's celebrate. And now people were going ahead and being like, we'll believe it when we see it, because we've been given that hope. We've been given that promise. Not really a promise, but more like a thought that it would happen, but it never happens kind of vibe. We got screwed over by Dave Meltzer, which forever tarnished his career for people. I mean, like, more so. And meanwhile, then the AEW stuff happened, and people hoped that, oh, maybe this will convince Punk to come back. And AEW sent him an offer through text, and one of the other, which, you know, even for me, I was like, dude, you don't send a contract like that through text. Like, yeah. But, yeah. So add that to the long list of stuff that went down. But moving on from that, but AEW, I actually agree with the person that said this. I think they might have intentionally let this leak out to draw hype. And after that announcement reveal was made, all of a sudden AEW starts going ahead and announcing a big show in Chicago on August 20th, where they announced that there would be a special event called The First Dance of AEW Rampage as the second episode. So you already got that hyped. But then they do something different. They go ahead and start teasing all this crazy stuff for it. And let me just enlighten you of what exactly this means. I start to feel a little weird, because I finally feel like I'm feeling it again. That idea that I'm starting to have faith in wrestling again. That I am having faith in the hype of professional wrestling. Because they have, after this announcement, they go ahead after announcing this, have crowds chanting CM Punk after this announcement was made. And then Darby Allin is going ahead, cutting a promo, talking about the upcoming United Center episode of Rampage. And then he says he's met a lot of people. And then he makes this direct reference: even if you think you're the best in the world. And right there, you got everyone hooked. It's like, take my money. Let's do it, everybody. Let's do it. Let's do it. But that wasn't all that happened during the show on this particular night on July 28th. Please note, this was 4 weeks ago. Nearly. MJF cuts a pro on Chris Jericho after he beats Nick Gage, saying this: Chris, as you sit there in more pain than you've ever been in your entire life, I need you to listen to me. Which is a reference to the pipe bomb that changed all this, and for some people can make the argument, kickstarts this whole idea of an alternative and looking for something new. Ooh. And Nick Jackson even does a high knee into the corner into a bulldog move, which is CM Punk really made popular. More so, even though it's been done God knows how many times. But the fact that they did this all on the same episode, it's like, I think I can do it. I can just have faith in the hype. That's the honest thing. I feel like I'm having faith in the hype. And then United Center goes on sale on tickets. They sold that out. Yeah. The moment they opened up pre-sale, they sold out 10,000 tickets. And I just wrote on Twitter, reports and references alone sold this arena out essentially. WWE reportedly thought that Punk's stock dropped due to UFC. Please know that this is what WWE was thinking when they heard this. They all knew he was probably going all elite on this. But here's the thing. WWE essentially, in their stupidity, when they came out with the whole Punk likely signed to AEW, WWE's mentality was like this. Don't be ridiculous. Punk has clearly used damaged goods from his brief stint in MMA. He don't draw like he used to be. Don't be ridiculous. We make references, AEW's response, make references to Punk, no matches announced for the show, and sell out for this 1 hour show within 10 minutes. And fans proceed to sell out the arena. Don't be ridiculous. He's no mover of the needle. Yeah. Vince, could you just admit you're wrong here? Are we really going to keep denying the reality of the situation? So, yeah. And WWE was just not helping themselves with this. Now, it's already bad enough that right around this time they fired Bray Wyatt and they fired a ton of NXT wrestlers, meaning that wrestling just got more additional talent to go ahead and sign. But now they're on the verge of losing Adam Cole, baby, and now it came out that they're on the verge that they could lose Pete Dunne as well, and NXT's changing, and all this stuff is changing, and the networks are pissed off at them. So yeah, AEW sold out United Center within like an hour or so, and that was the pre-sale. Well, they sold out the rest of the remaining tickets within like 30 minutes. I'm getting all in vibes here, everybody. So there was a lot of freaking hype for this. So yeah, it's getting there. I'm feeling it. My blood's pumping. I feel I can hope again. I feel I can go and not have expectations. I can just go there and say, I believe the hype. I could honestly say, I believe in the hype. And meanwhile, WWE just pisses me off, and I'm not having any expectations with them on that at this point. But I'm just feeling the hype again. I'm feeling my blood pumping. I'm even posting a video of Zack Snyder's Justice League where Batman tells Alfred, he'll be an Alfred, I know it. What makes you so sure? Faith, Alfred. Faith. Which basically sums up the entire thing I'm feeling. I'm just having faith in the hype. Like, if AEW screwed this up, it's the over for them if they did. So you have to be confident about this as all hell. And yeah, so when this happened, we're getting there. When this happened, it's coming closer and closer than ever that this is going to happen. And then Daniel Bryan starts being talked about, and it's like, what? And then as the and then I'm just like, I'm excited for a wrestling show. It's a 1 hour wrestling show. It's a Tekken episode, and it's for a less than 3-year-old company. And I'm that guy, that kid again, who wants to wake up every morning and get hyped for the next show. I'm etching on my seat on Friday, getting all hyped up on adrenaline, just trying to wonder, is this gonna happen? Is he gonna show? Is he gonna debut? And how are they gonna do it? Or if MJF's gonna come out and piss everyone off to the extreme, to the point that they'll probably commit mass rioting. And then Punk, as the days go by, kept tweeting out Instagram posts, how he's referencing Michael Jordan's return to NBA, to basketball, and then he goes ahead and posts another Instagram post of his time in Ring of Honor, where it says that this was 16 years ago today, called the show The Final Chapter, because I'm a huge Friday the 13th guy. Can't remember if it was the 13th or not. Today is pretty cool. Also Final Chapter because, well, that was it for that guy. Hey, was sure I'd be an astronaut or maybe cowboy or something. Chapters closed, books end. Nothing is over the hill if you're underground. Over till you're underground, which is on Darby's Allin's chest tattoo. Nothing's over till you're underground, and that was in CM Punk's post. So now you have a match: Darby Allin versus Punk. And they haven't even announced it yet. There's no teasers. There's no hype machine. They're just making references to him, and Punk's on Instagram making references. Even networks are saying, "Oh, this might be the reported debut of CM Punk at the First Dance," and it's like, okay, can you just admit it? Just admit it. And then WWE, in their infinite wisdom, decide to play dumbasses. What I mean by that? Well, they go ahead and have actually had the audacity, in their eyes, to push down the push of CM Punk's imminent return. Like, they have Roman Reigns come out and bash AEW, go and say, Shawn Michaels could have been the tough guy, but it wasn't me, and whatnot. And then he goes ahead and says, CM Punk wasn't a draw, he wasn't a needle mover, he wasn't like The Rock or John Cena. Well, that's actually kind of, and it's like, okay, he wasn't those type of things. There's just one major contributing issue to that. You just compare two people that were backed by the WWE corporate machine with a guy who was never backed by the WWE corporate machine. Oh, you could say the pipe bomb is when they backed him. It's more like he was like willing to get in the ring with Vince in that. And yeah, they gave him the allowance to go out there and air his grievances on live television, and they always reference it. And I think WWE nowadays has remorse about that, because no matter how many times they bring it, because now people bring it up more, saying like, yeah, he's still right here. 10 years later, that promo still gets references saying, yeah, he was right here. Okay, he was right here, he was right here, he was right here. Okay, he was right here. Harsh on the death part, but we're kind of at this point where everything's gonna fall apart anyways, even without Vince, because Nick Khan runs everything. Over here, and now they can't promote it because, well, he's in AEW, so he's no longer canon. And then he goes ahead and says, and then Roman comes out and says, Punk saying all this, and it's like, oh god damn it, Vince, you're just giving AEW ammunition. Like, it's not surprising, so it's not some cosmic coincidence that CM Punk is just being mentioned out of nowhere by WWE's backed corporate star out of nowhere the day before his big return. You don't see coincidence. Oh, and then Punk also posted a dead rat on his Instagram post, and I think at that point he was just kidding around because he knew people would overreact and come up with like 10,000 different reasonings to go ahead and justify what the symbolism is to a smashed rat. Because that's what I think it was. I think that point he was like, everyone knows, let's just have fun with it and see if anyone's going to be dumb enough to make those top 20 different things that are from this graphically detailed violent image with a circle dot, because that's clearly a sign. And then the video thumbnail doesn't even promote what he was doing. And WWE heading into SmackDown, and then it was said that WWE wasn't going to do any reactionary responses to this. Look, I'm not watching SummerSlam. I'm recording this while SummerSlam's on the air right now. I'm just not interested, and it's not even because of Punk. It's because of what WWE's done. WWE firing Bray Wyatt out of nowhere a day after the investment call. WWE firing a bunch of people. NXT's dismantling. Why should I keep watching this? I can't just go and watch this just because Roman's on the show. Roman's the only consistently good thing, but now it's more like at a point where I have to say, okay, that's cool. What else you got? You have Edge and Seth Rollins? Okay, that's good. I'll admit that. What they're doing is awesome. What about after for him? What's next for them? Oh, well, Edge goes back into exile. No. If he beats Seth Rollins, what's the point? So, why should I care? So, yeah, that happened, and oh man. The biggest hype machine happens, and AEW gets the report, and reports come out that TNT and Warner Media are going to put their full backing for Punk, which means he's going to get everything he ever demanded from Vince, or everything he felt like he wanted to be respected from Vince. So, at all this, the stars are aligned. We're in Chicago. We start the show off, and the crowd is freaking deafening. Oh, I like to point for the record that my buddy Lex from ATW's review, he was at this show. He traveled all the way from the Philippines for this, for AEW, for All Out. So if you need me, me and several other members of the crew are going to prepare a revenge by going to Chicago and going ahead and just demanding his shirts. And then we're going to go ahead and sell them on eBay because, you know, that's what some people actually did after the show. I'll get back to that because that kind of also references his pipe bomb promo. But, yeah. We got fans screaming at the top of the line, CM Punk, CM Punk, CM Punk, CM Punk. And then the music plays. Cult of Personality. We start the show off with that instead of waiting till the main event, till the end of the show, because everyone expected that, because some people were worried they were going to do that and that would have ruined the rest of the night for Rampage. But no, they said get him out there now. And sure enough, the deafening silence begins. And oh man, CM Punk emerges, and the crowd gets louder, and it gets louder because they now see it's real. AEW never teased it, WWE had him, and then they lost him, and the crowd goes ballistic. There are grown men crying, and that person is being memified at this very moment, which is funny, and depressingly, the tribalists are harassing him and calling him a failure at life, because of course we can't cry over moments like this. We didn't, because men don't cry in their eyes, or men don't cry for emotional stuff. Men don't cry for good stories. Like, we didn't cry for Kofi Mania happening and coming to life. We didn't cry when Edge came back. We didn't cry when Christian came back. No one cried. No one cried when Bret Hart and HBK reconciled after so long. After 20 years of the Montreal Screwjob hanging over them like a ghost. Oh, no. No one cries for stuff like this. Because the nerd. Yeah, I'm not kidding. I saw some tribalists even attacking that guy. And even Mark Henry was shocked to see this, saying, holy shit. That shows you even he was surprised by this. I'm gonna be honest, I think this is the loudest pop, the most deafening noise that even drowned out the music, no matter how loud they played it. And I gotta be real, I think they haven't done that since Rock and Hogan in Toronto. WrestleMania 18. Oh, sure, Edge coming back was that big. I get that, but when you got a crowd that just gets louder and louder and louder and louder and treats the moment like it's like this moment will never be duplicated again, that is what I think it is. Like like everyone's happy for Edge, everyone's crying for Edge, but the crowd reaction was the deafening noise. But the deafening noise enough to drown the music. Like I could still hear the music on my TV. I could barely hear the music on my TV when CM Punk came out. Like I'm making that comparison. It's up there with Hogan and Rock's match at WrestleMania 18, which is depressing because Hulk Hogan's horrible. I had to put it in there. Okay. And then he jumps into the crowd. He's happy. He's crying too. He's just shocked at everything. He's having moments like this, like I've been gone for 7 years and these people treat me like I'm some god. Wow. And after the emotion, the embracement with open arms, and the fear of COVID raining a hell upon thee, because right before the show there was a mask mandate order that all indoor arenas have to have masks on. Damn you idiots who go ahead and think that they can just not follow precaution because of a conspiracy theory. I blame Drake. Anyways. CM Punk gets in the ring, grabs a microphone, and you're just like, what's he gonna say? What's he gonna say? What's he gonna do? What's he gonna do? What's he gonna say? And he just cuts a promo right from the heart, and then he admits his first lines were this: "You guys really know how to make a kid feel like Britt Baker in Pittsburgh." And Britt Baker's set for life. Nope, she's set for life. He could have started anything off. He could have cut that out and said, "I'm winging this. We're winging this." He could have started off with that. But no, his first immediate thing is like, put Britt Baker over. I gotta go put Britt Baker over and treat her like she's the goddess here. And he goes ahead and says that there's a lot to cover, saying this: the bad news is we don't have the time tonight. The good news is I got time Wednesdays, Fridays, 4 Saturdays or Sundays a year. And I would have added BTE as well. That would have really helped them get more viewership. I got the time and I ain't going anywhere. And yeah, he goes ahead and talks about his time and the bad blood that he's had over the last 7 years and everything that led to it. Like, I think this was also referencing Colt Cabana and him having a fight. I did hear rumors that they squashed it, that we worked it out. So, okay, if that's the case, good on you, Jets. And considering he's in AEW, that kind of proves that. That kind of might mean he did. But we'll have to see if they say anything about it directly. And then he goes ahead and says, then he has to take the mandatory mention, and honestly, this is the one that I really think he could have said, saying this: possibly for me, the most important thing I'm going to say, if at all, during my journey, if any of my choices or personal decisions made you feel disappointed, let me just say, I was never going to get healthy by staying in the same place that got me sick in the first place. Which is something that everyone, and then afterwards, fans chanted, F you Vince, fuck you Vince, fuck you Vince. Which is telling. And yeah, he goes ahead and brings up his time in Ring of Honor. So that's still canon in the AEW Pro Wrestling shared universe. It's only a matter of time until they walk through the forbidden door. And then he just, okay, so this is the part where people got really pissed off at Punk, the tribalists. Like, some of them, like, lately the WWE tribalists have lately been having this doubt in their mind of questioning their loyalty to the company that gave them the blind loyalty to and whatnot. I understand being loyal to WWE because they're the one, because for all intents and purposes they're the ones that gave you the introduction to this industry. So I get it, but eventually you're gonna have to, like, when more and more stuff comes out and more opportunities come out, it's like you gotta start considering other options. Or you could be loyal to the talent, to the workers, but the company as a whole, you can't be loyal to it. You feel like if you do, or trash other people for having a different viewpoint. The tribalists lately have been feeling like, some of them I've noticed have been feeling like, should we even still be loyal to this company? Should we? Like, we don't like AEW for for our own reasons, but I'm kind of doubting this. And even some congratulate AEW for bringing the Chicago native back. So yeah, this is telling, and they even said they'll also give them credit if they get Bryan Danielson. They'll admit it. And he goes ahead and says, and Punk disowns his WWE run. He says, so I look at it like this. August 13th, 2005, I left professional wrestling. So when he said that, I was like, it's kind of a flip of the coin on that, because you could theoretically, in the loosest term possible, say he left professional wrestling and went sports entertainment, because WWE has a very big restriction on that term, whereas everyone else is more about, just admit you're professional wrestling. Like, it's okay to say, like, just accept that that's part of who you are. But Vince is like, no, professional wrestling is evil. I get evilness because my father said no to me. No. That's at least my interpreted theory why he hates the word pro wrestling. Because his daddy told him no, and he's resented him for over his entire life because, I don't know, because Legos. So, yeah. So he decrees that August 20th, 2021, I'm back. And I'm back for you. I'm not gonna lie, I'm back for me too. But I'm back because there's a hell of a lot of young talent that I wish I was surrounded by 10 years ago. I'm back because I want to work with that young talent. I'm back because there's a couple scorers to sell in that locker room. And then he calls out the man who called him out first and sold out an entire arena, Darby Allin. And then we see Darby Allin staying high above the rafters, watching from afar, in their brooding darkness. And Darby Allin, he has that look that's like, okay, I can't break character, but this is so freaking awesome. And he says, I see you. You're good. I see you jump out of airplanes. I see you get kicked down a flight of stairs. And you always come back. You're tough. But I'm here to help, Darby. And you're first on the list. You're a daredevil. And Darby, there's nothing more dangerous that you can do than wrestle CM Punk. Except wrestle CM Punk in Chicago. I'll see you September 5th at All Out, live on pay-per-view. I'm back. And to end the promo, and I must stress this is the first 20 minutes of the show. Oh, and I appreciate everyone who waited 7 long years for me. So everyone on your way out, grab yourself a free ice cream bar on me. Referencing the ice cream, where are my ice cream bars from 2011? And then he goes ahead and publishes a statement saying, a reference to Michael Jordan, and when he mounts his return, saying, I'm back. So, yeah. Yep, he's back. So the reason why I didn't really make a video right afterwards was because I was hanging out with my buddies on AEW on the Zoom call, but also because I wanted to wait for the media scrum to end it because that's where I heard about it. CM Punk's contract with AEW went into effect, and one of the things was revealed that Tony Khan stated, and Punk and Tony Khan said this, it's not a short-term thing. I'm here to help anyone that wants help. We're going to be doing this for a while. We're excited that this is a short-term thing or a part-time thing. This is full-time, and we're very excited. So, yeah. Punk is back for the long haul. One last run. Full-time. And then it's revealed that he's been in talks with AEW for a year and a half, which means they probably already had him, but they probably also could have. This also was revealed during the post-media conference, where it's revealed that Punk was that it's likely because the pandemic happened, therefore they couldn't do it yet, so they needed to wait and have a long time to talk it out, work out the details, instead of being a spur-of-the-moment decision. So, yeah, this has been a year and a half work by Tony Khan, and he somehow had to keep his mouth shut. Say, I'm talking to CM Punk! I'm talking to CM Punk! I'm talking to CM Punk! For his return! And Punk even admits that, yeah, the worst kept secret debut was designed that way for a reason. And that was pretty much confirming that, yep, this was in fact a reference to 2005 where Ring of Honor let it leak out that Punk either signed with WWE or was in negotiations with them. And then CM Punk talks about the ice cream bars, saying the ice cream bar is for me. That's Andy Kaufman. I used to do it all the time when I would do Q&As at Comic-Cons and stuff like that. I would bring people donuts, pizza. These ice cream bars to me represent an idea. An idea that was gift wrapped to people that didn't bother to take the time to try to understand their audience. This is the easiest home run I ever hit. This is a legit thank you. You know, John Lester came to the Chicago Cubs and won us a trophy. Won us a World Series. When he got traded away, he opened up a tab at a bunch of bars as a way to say thank you to the fans. This is my way to say thank you to the fans. This is personal for me, and timing's everything. It just felt right when I left Ring of Honor. I did not want to go, but I felt I couldn't stay. You can't really explain that to people. It's just something you live through. When I was sick and tired and hurt, I realized these people wouldn't care if I died today. WWE. There'd be another show tomorrow. I knew I had to remove myself from the situation. I didn't know how long it was going to take for me to heal. Then this came along and credit everybody involved in AEW. It reminded me of places I used to work that I loved, where it was not about, it was more just about the spirit of the thing. Instead of feeling like a house, it felt like a home. That's the best way I could possibly describe this. As such, as your host, the elites change the world. Since I'm wearing that shirt for this moment, I decree. Oh, by the way, one more thing. CM Punk crashed the Pro Wrestling Tees site and he crashed the AEW site all in one night, to the point that that Pro Wrestling Tees announced that they had to move to a different server to prevent this from ever happening again. Yeah, good luck with that. If they get Bray Wyatt and Daniel Bryan, and yeah, the sites are going to crash again. CM Punk was trending on a lot of social media posts. He was trending for about 12 hours at number 1 even in the top 5. So yeah, Roman, could you just admit you were wrong about the needle moving concept? Because if someone backs him, then they're really going to back him. Because if WWE just simply backed him instead of being bitter that he got over, where like there was this old report I recall reading that WWE, when Punk was making more money than Cena, was like, we gotta squash this, but we can't take it out, he'll start a fight. So we'll make more Cena merch and put that out so we can get our impressionable youth to convince their parents to buy more. So when you have that mentality, you know, like, yeah, this is not going to work out well. Like, the moment I heard that, I was like, if I was learning that while I was working there, if I was Punk, I would be like, well, I'm screwed. This whole thing's screwed. So, yeah, that's why it recontextualizes some of those documentaries when they were building up Rock and Cena to the point where Cena goes ahead and talks about why, oh, well, I'm making all this merch money and I was the highest selling guy above CM Punk and The Rock. So I'm never going to change and be a heel. It's kind of hard to buy that because how many of them are actually genuine, all unique purchases and not just someone buying a bunch of your merch in bulk because you have so many designs and kids like you. So yeah, there's that recontextualization of certain things, but that's neither here nor there. This is the now. This is why I love this wrestling industry, why I fell in love in the first place. The unpredictability, you can have something be so obvious yet be so emotionally entertaining. You can have this, you can be reignited. AEW brought that back. And yeah, will AEW may one day screw up down the road 10, 20 years from now? Probably. It'll probably end up being like WWE in the morality sense. Including their big mistake with Matt Hardy and the botch and the botch out issue at All Out, but that's beside the point. But like, I'm just gonna love this for now. I'm going to enjoy this. I'm gonna have faith in the hype, and I'm gonna love every moment of it. Oh god, and this is like the other time I got this emotional was talking about Sammy Guevara versus MJF, which represents, yeah, I say the future's pretty damn freaking secured with those two, especially in AEW as their future mega stars. And sure enough, this plan worked. AEW got the fans to get it out of their systems so they can focus on the rest of the show with their hottest properties. Jurassic Express with the high popular Luchasaurus and Jungle Boy, Eddie Kingston, John Moxley, and Private Party. Oh, several other people, but really that was the big deal. Along with Jade Cargill versus Kiera Hogan. But yeah, it was everything it needed to be. Like you could say the rest of the show, quote, didn't matter, but you still want to watch the rest of the show because you're invested with everything going on. Whereas, I'll say it, WWE, the only consistently thing going for me is Roman Reigns, and I'm at a point now where I was like, okay, WWE's unethical issues, unethical actions, the firings, NXT being revamped, and if it's all legit, it's the end of the days for NXT as a third brand major, and the lack of interest I have. And the only one being Roman Reigns, is like I can't keep watching it just for him. I might as well just watch his clips on YouTube. That's it. I don't have to watch the rest of the show. I don't need to dedicate 5 hours of my life to TV that I'm not interested in, except maybe like a couple of minutes. Probably 20. So why should I watch garbage just to get to the good part at the end and then probably contemplate my life choices? Where I could watch a 2-hour Dynamite, a 1-hour Rampage. I could go and watch Impact Wrestling. I can go and watch New Japan Pro Wrestling and all their crazy shenanigans they're doing and be entertained. And no matter how insane it is, sure, there might be a dud or two or here or there, and there might be some filler moments in there, but you're still getting hyped up. You're still getting your blood pumping, ready to watch the rest of the show. And you're like, I like Darby Allin. I like MJF. I like Sammy Guevara. I like what's going on over here. I like what's going on over there. And here's the thing. I said this. If WWE willingly would try to be consistent, instead of waiting 8 months to try and be consistent for like 2 weeks, they can be the best in the world. They have the money, they have the talent, they have the resources. What they don't have is the motivation. Because all at the end of the day, it's just, we want money, all the goddamn money, and we'll screw everyone over for it. Even sell our souls to the Saudi government. So yeah, this, I'm all in on this reference. So let's go all out on this. Okay, I spent 40 minutes on this, so yeah, that's how important this was to me to make. This was Neo Reality Entertainment. The WrestleVerse presents CM Punk's return to professional wrestling and All Elite Wrestling Rampage 2021. I decree this the end of the Wrestling Rebirth initiative and the beginning of the reign of pro wrestling. Long may they fucking reign.